Yeah. Yeah. Axe slain. Boys and girls, this is the GameTHOTS, thoughts, home opinions, trolls, strategy. We're going to talk about Borderlands 4 today. Got about 15-20 hours into it so far. Been playing co-op with Prague as always. I'm running Amon Calamity build, so I got the Forged Fist Rocket Punch deal. Got a hammer that spreads fire everywhere, cracking down on some skulls. Pretty fun so far. Of course, the gunplay feels good. All of the weapons feel pretty decent. I've got a couple of manufacturers I like or dislike more or less than the others. It's got some decent customization so far. I really enjoy the fact that we have a big open seamless world and not a bunch of loading screens in between. That is always one of my favorite things. You know, there's a few like critiques and stuff as far as the game goes itself. Like I'm a console player, but I know there's a bunch of issues on PC. So like I'm not talking about the PC version of the game, but also upgrade your hardware. That's the whole point of having the PC Master Race, isn't it? To have the top of the line stuff. So figure out how to make your specs work. The game will probably run on it. Or buy a console. The most a game does on console is crash every once in a while. Less cheaters, runs better. You might get a few more frames and a few more little, you know, pixelations or whatever on PC, but at this point, almost everything comes out more broken over there, it seems like, which is just crazy. That being said, I've seen plenty of streamers not being negative about it, and with good hardware, the game runs good enough if you are on top of things. That's neither here nor there, really, for me. Don't really care about what's going on PC, but you gotta caveat that anytime you're talking about these because they're usually the loudest people in the room. No hate, just saying. So, the game proper, I don't really have too many issues with it, and I would go ahead and say I recommend you play it if you have a co-op partner to play with. But this is actually just something in gaming in general that I've just been thinking about more and more. If we have a custom or a tree or a bunch of different abilities or classes or any of the above, I understand they want to make characters with their own backstories and maybe sell toys later. But especially for a looter shooter or, you know, even, you know, down to Diablo, let us make our own character. I've brought this up on a few videos before. I really enjoyed that on Fallout 4. We made our character, still made our dialogue choices, but the character was still voiced. So I'm not even saying that we want a completely silent protagonist or anything like that. You can still write them however you want to. But just like, let me sculpt how they look, let me make my tweaks. Give us all of the stuff in the pools of the classes, and then let us pick out what we want to use and what we want to choose. I just feel like that would be way cooler across the board. Not even just for Borderlands, just in a general sense. For me personally, anytime I can make my own character and they look how I want them to look and they're not a pre-baked thing, I just get that much more into the game, that much more immersed. And that's really what we're looking for as an escape here. But that's just something to think about. As far as the gameplay mechanics go, like I was saying, it does feel pretty good. I do feel like there is a little bit of a lag between you starting some of your special moves, especially with Amon. Of course, I haven't played with the other ones. But starting the rocket punch, and then sometimes you'll be locked on, have the enemy there, and he doesn't want to go all the way across the map, which I think a couple of updates will fix that. But like that's a little bit annoying. You absolutely have to go into your settings, change your controller sensitivity, mess with it and tweak it because the game absolutely does not feel good enough and is not fast enough without doing that. Which you should be shifting your settings regardless, in my opinion. No developer has the settings right, especially for controller, out of the box. Tweak your stuff, see what's up with it, you'll have a better time. As far as the new World of Kairos, like I said, I'm about 20 hours or so in, probably a little bit less. It's pretty fun so far, but also, I'll definitely miss Pandora. That said, I only played 1 and a little bit of 2 on the handheld on Vita. And for 3, I probably have 4 or 5 hours max in that game. I did not enjoy that at all. But the tone's right in this one. The gore and the darker side of the humor things and the innuendo are back again, but not to the point so far where it's just completely dumb. So I'm pretty happy about that. But yeah, really, just all in all, I just would like to see more freedom of choice inside of these big open world expansions. And then on top of that, now of course I haven't fully gotten into the skill trees, and there's a bajillion videos on the internet. If you're one of those people that look everything up, I am absolutely not. But my thing is how bored am I going to be by the time I get to the end of this grind on the skill tree, and then like how many more weapons will there really be that are worth it to grab if I don't have anything else to grind for? Now that's a preference thing and a personal problem. Some people are absolute collectors and they want to see how many guns they want to be able to get in their inventory, and that's perfectly fine. Amon was the only one that was even remotely close to what I want, and even then, I don't like really the style of his axes and stuff. They look kind of corny. The shield and the forge whip look cool, but the whip itself is just kind of like, whatever. I don't necessarily know if the Calamity is the best of all of them, but I like the freedom. I like to be able to rocket punch wherever I want to, and be able to shoot my gun still in the right hand. Definitely want to see what's up with the vehicles more. That's going to be pretty cool. But this is my initial thoughts on Borderlands 4. Definitely say, if you got a co-op partner, check it out. Have a good time with it. If not, maybe wait till it goes on sale. These are definitely made to be played with people. That's what makes them great. It's not too hard, not too easy. If you're paying just enough of attention and build your character out right, you will have a good time and succeed. Nice cel-shaded art style. But for the next Borderlands, I want to be able to make my own character. There you go.